You're finally becoming who you want to be, making better decisions, setting boundaries, getting your life together. But the moment you step into your old environment, you shrink. Because what if they don't like this new version of you? Because personal growth feels risky when everyone around us feels comfortable with our old patterns.
If I am taking this step, I'm leaving that behind, and I'm pretty sure that some people will abandon me.
I'm Helena, and today I'm sharing a real-life story of a gorgeous woman named Anna. She's got a life together. She's done the work on herself, she knows what she wants, and she's evolving. But here's the thing. Every time she thinks of stepping into this new version, she gets scared. Not scared of failing, but scared if her friends will get it. Scared that people will think that she changed too much. Because honestly, she's already seeing this. And maybe you're seeing this too in your life. You know those little comments here and there when you change something and people reminding you of your old version, how you used to be. Maybe you decided to quit on drinking and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, are you becoming boring now? Or maybe you started to share your ideas online and it's like, oh, you're not going to be one of those influencers, are you? These remarks, they may seem harmless, but when they come from the people who we love the most, they cut deep. And if we're not conscious, we start to shrink ourselves to avoid them. Today, we're going to talk about why this happens, and I'm going to share the concept of the life cycles that we move through the lens of Chinese metaphysics. We'll look at why sometimes the people that are most close to us have the hardest time with our growth, and why sometimes we need to be okay with letting go of people to make space for who we are becoming. Welcome to the show where you can ask me real-life questions and I'll reveal answers through the wisdom of Chinese metaphysics. Give your thinking mind a break and open your heart, because you're about to be amazed.
A lot of friendships came into my life when I was a certain person, and I'm not that person anymore. I evolved. I also, one time, I keep one leg in that world and then I come back to my own world. So it means that if I am taking this step, I'm leaving that behind, and I'm pretty sure that some people will abandon me.
Anna fears that if she shows up in her new identity, her friends will cut her down. So she hides behind excuses instead of facing the truth.
For example, I have a very talented friend who is like the best photographer I know, and he made some very great pictures for me, but I never posted them. It's about the moment that I'm putting myself out there, everything has to be correct in a line. So I have to be sure that my website is super ready to go online for everybody to read all the articles, which I know that are not final yet.
And this is exactly how mental blockages work. They are master disguise artists. They show up as perfectionism, or not having enough time, or not knowing what to do. But underneath, there's always a deeper emotional pattern. And in Anna's case, it's the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment. And here's the key. When we're not honest with what's really stopping us, we trap ourselves in this endless loop, trying to fix the wrong problems. And the moment that you see what is really happening, that's the moment when you finally gain the power to change it. And here's something that might comfort you. It is completely natural for your inner circle to respond with mixed emotions when you evolve. It's not because they don't love you or want you to succeed. They're simply being human. Because human beings, we love familiarity. So when someone close to us starts to change, we feel uncomfortable. And we unconsciously respond in ways that feels less supportive. There's even a term for this in psychology. It's called system disruption. The other people unconsciously try to restore the old balance because that's what feels safe and familiar to them. And it is super important that we recognize this dynamic, because otherwise we mistake their response as a rejection, while in reality it's just fear or confusion. They're simply adjusting to our new selves. So what can you do about it? Well, there's two things. First, try your new version with new people, neutral people, people who have no idea who you are. It's way easier. Honestly, when I spoke with her, I was full of admiration. She has such a strong vision and good ideas. And second thing is, you should tell the people around you, like, hey, I'm going through these changes and this is how you can support me. They might not get it right away, but at least they know what's going on. I went through this myself last year when I changed my name. I was born as Feng An Ho. It's a Vietnamese name. And since last year, I started going by Helena. And some people came to me and told me that I shouldn't do that because it would mean that I was rejecting my roots, rejecting my Vietnamese background. And that couldn't be further from the truth because I'm really proud to be Vietnamese. And in my previous career as a DJ, I carried my name with pride. But here's what was really happening. Many times my name was misspelled, like this time. I was playing on a big stage, and if you look behind me, you can see my name on the screen, but spelled wrongly. Or the moment I got a personalized Jägermeister bottle. Super cool, right? Except they also got my name wrong. And then there was the conference. Imagine walking in and someone coming to you like, "Hey ho, how are you doing?" Yeah, just hey ho. Or this one, a complete confusion. Dear Miss V.A. Feng N. The point is, people struggle to understand and remember my name. And when you have something valuable to share, you just want people to be able to remember and pass it on easily. And I realized that every time a person stumbled over my name, it became a missed opportunity for my work to travel further. So when I started a new career, I decided to do this differently. I wanted a name that was catchy, that people could grasp immediately. Helena Ho. And the truth is that the meaning of Helena deeply resonates with my core being. It means shining light. So, I am very proud of my roots, but that hasn't always been the same way, especially when I was younger. And it was really important for me that my parents knew that I wasn't rejecting them or our culture. So that's why I called them first to tell. Now, you gotta understand something about my parents. They are the typical Asian type. They're not the ones to show big emotions. Their way of expressing I love you is by peeling a piece of fruit, putting it on a plate in front of you without saying anything. So naturally, when I shared this, their response was very flat, like, okay, it's your decision, fine. But when I explained it, my father was the first to say that he understood and even thought it was a smart decision. My mom said she was fine, as she always says, but she never picks up the phone when I call her. And when I ask her why, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was you. I thought it was a stranger calling." Now here's the interesting thing. New people who meet me as Helena, they don't question it, they don't comment it, they simply accept it. It's only the people who remember the old name who sometimes struggle with it. And that is exactly what Anna is going through. When we change, it's not the new people who resist, it's usually the old circle. The ones who remember who we were. Not because they don't love us, just because they are unfamiliar with this version of us. I'll give you another example because this is not just about individuals. Think about Apple. In 2007, they released the first iPhone. And back in that time, you had the BlackBerry, the Nokia, and all the mobile phones had a physical keypad. And the trend was the smaller, the cooler. And then Apple showed up with a huge phone with no buttons. And everyone's like, yeah, right, that's not gonna work. No one is gonna type on glass. Apple didn't argue to convince. What they did was constantly showing up, sharing the vision. They let people experience it. And slowly, what seemed crazy became normal, even essential. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because it works the same for us. When we step into a new identity, the old people who knew who we were often resisted. But when we keep showing up consistently, showing who we truly are, over time, the world will adapt and adjust, and our new version becomes the new natural standard. In Chinese metaphysics, we understand that life moves through natural cycles. Each person's destiny shifts into a new energetic phase every 10 years. Every cycle is connected with a new theme, opportunities, and life lessons. And it isn't random, it is the natural intelligence of life making sure that we keep evolving and growing. So every decade, you're basically growing into a new person, and you can feel this. These are the times that you move into a new house, shift career, maybe your relationship is breaking up. This is a time when the universe throws you opportunities, disruptions, challenges, and you start to feel different. You have different interests, different goals. That's normal. What is not normal is when a person stays the same for decades. So whether you want it or not, life is going to bring you these shifts. And you have a choice. You can resist it or flow with them. And that's the beauty of these systems. Because if you understand the cycles, you can prepare for it, anticipate for it, and align with it. Because when you resist, that's when life gets stuck. Problems, frustrations, and challenges are piling up. If you want me to analyze more stories like Anna, then hit subscribe. And if you want me to analyze your story, then click on the link in the description. Because when we share our stories, our vulnerabilities, we can grow as a community. Now let's look at Anna's timing. Last year, she moved into a brand new 10-year luck cycle. It means that her inner and outer world shifted into a new theme. So it makes completely sense how she's feeling. And 2024 was also the year of the dragon. It means that the energy of this pillar was in full effect. The dragon clashes with her outer world, her friends, her network. It combines with her career palace, signaling that something new emerged in her professional career. And it clashed with her inner palace / children palace. And in her case, it was both. She became mother of the second child and she had an inner transformation. Let's have a closer look into the relationships. A dragon is known as a self-punishment clash. And as the name suggests, it talks about conflicts that we create ourselves. It shows up as us holding on too tightly when we pour our energy in things that no longer serve us. Even deep down, you know it's time to let go, but you just cannot release. And the more you grip, the more it backfires, leaving you burned out. And this fits perfectly with the theme of this new life cycle. It's all about stepping up into a new role, new status, taking on new responsibilities, and aligning with a higher sense of ethics. All the things that are happening aren't accidents. It's a karmic life lesson. They are inviting her to reshape and change the way how she shows up in the world. So the universe is basically asking her, are you going to hold on, or are you finally going to let go so that you can grow? Recognize 7 karmic patterns, the 7 ways humans get stuck in life. Each of us carries just one of them. It's the one thing that holds you back through life. But the moment that you look at straight in the eye, that's where true freedom begins. And to make it easier to recognize them, I've created Pixar-like characters. Let me introduce to you the 7 troublemakers. And I'm super curious if you're able to recognize which one is yours. So let's do something fun. As I go through each one, pay attention which one makes you go like, oh, that's me. Drop it in the comments. Just write down the troublemaker's name, because I'm gonna pick 3 people who have guessed their karmic chain correctly. And I'm going to personally email you with an approach how to deal with it. Trust me, this is the beginning of the end of your sorrows. Ready? Let's see which troublemaker has been running your life. First, there's Blaza, the fire of unhealthy obsession. She mistakes desire for love, loses herself in longing, and chases after what will never satisfy her. And then we have Storia. She loves drama. She exaggerates, blows things out of proportion, and feels most comfortable in chaos. Peace? No, she doesn't allow herself to stay there. Meet Draina, the heavy one. Always in a coma state. No motivation, no energy. Trapped in her own weight. She feels stuck, depressed, and unable to move. Everything feels heavy. And here comes Grudge, smiling on the outside, stormy on the inside. He carries negative emotions towards people and situations, but never speaks up loud. Always playing a smile and I'm fine face. And then we have Glorio. He shines so bright that he loses himself. Living for applause and the expectations of others, he forgets who he truly is. Now Twiggy, she's always lost in thoughts, tangled in indecision. She makes plans upon plans, but never takes action. Forever stuck in the land of what if? And finally there's Flips. Restless, unable to settle. His mind jumps constantly from the past to the future, judging what has already happened and rejecting what hasn't come yet, never arriving in the present. Back to Anna. Her karmic chain is related to resentment, and that's exactly what's going on in her life. She's not posting the pictures because she's afraid of her friends' comments. Deep down, she holds on to resentment. Resentment towards herself for not daring to be visible. Resentment towards her friends for not supporting the new her. And I even picked up some resentment towards life for making motherhood feel so heavy. And because she doesn't express it, it shimmers silently inside of her.
Every day that I'm not living it, it's draining me.
The word resentment comes from the Latin resentire. It means to feel again. And that's exactly what happens. We replay old emotions over and over again instead of letting them flow through us. And each replay creates an energetic knot in our system. So resentment is really not about others, it's about us, the part of us that refuses to let go, release, and refuses to grow. On the outside, you may look fine, but on the inside, you carry around judgments, disappointments, things you never say out loud. It's like an emotional traffic jam. Everything gets stuck, nothing is flowing. And you can't move into your new future if you're still holding on to the past. And most of the time, you're not even angry at others. Anna is not mad at her friends, she's mostly angry with herself. She's frustrated that she's not brave enough yet to step into her new identity. These are the 3 steps for Anna to break free with grace. Step number 1, clarity. Be brutally honest with yourself. It's not about perfectionism, you're not confused about the next step, and time is not your biggest problem. These are just surface level masks. Because when we start to see things clearly, we stop wasting our energy fixing the wrong problems and focus on what we're really up against. Step number 2 is the mind shift. The way to deal with resentment is to allow it, to acknowledge what is there with compassion. When we allow people to have their responses, when we allow people to misunderstand us, and when we allow people to feel discomfort with us, we stop making their responses our prison. And here's the beautiful truth about relationships. They're not meant to be permanent at all cost, because people flow into our lives for seasons of learning and sharing. Some of them evolve with us, and with some of them, it just ends naturally. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that a chapter came to an end. Step number 3 is action. Go out and meet new people who know you as you are today. And prepare your environment for changes. Tell them what you're going through and how they can support you. Give them freedom of choice. You would be surprised at how much they would be willing to give you because they love you. So let's make this practical. Imagine that a person who's very dear to you comes to you and makes a comment that makes you feel unease. Instead of shutting down or getting defensive, pause and then respond with full honesty. Try something like this. Hey, when you said that, it actually made me feel very insecure. Because stepping into this new role is very exciting to me, but at the same time, it's also very scary. And it would mean the world to me if you could support me. You see the difference? You're not blaming them, you're not fighting them, but you're inviting them in your journey. Most of the time, when we express our truth with vulnerability, people soften. They come closer to us. Because telling the truth doesn't hurt, it connects. And I love frameworks. I love proven systems. Honestly, I don't do anything without. And for this practice, my favorite is nonviolent communication. The foundation is simple. Getting clear of what you're feeling and getting clear of what you want. Because the truth is, this makes it way easier for other people to support you because they understand what you need. And I even use practice sheets for this. You see these things? They are hanging around in our house. Whenever me or Danielle gets triggered, we push ourselves to choose one word from each side. What am I feeling and what do I need? It sounds very simple, but it really works. Because suddenly, instead of being vague, you're finally being clear, and this opens the door for true connection. And what if they can't meet you there? Then practice releasing without guilt. Be grateful for what you've shared together and let go with love. And most importantly, keep showing up as your true self consistently. Okay. If you're trying to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. And I learned this lesson the hard way in my previous career as a DJ. Let me tell you 2 stories. First, I got booked to play in the most prestigious underground techno club in the world, Panorama Bar. It's in Berlin. It's one of those gigs that is a career's milestone. So obviously I came very well prepared. I had a list with beautiful music, and I really wanted to tell a story that felt true to my vision. I was ready and excited. So I walked in feeling confident, and then I saw the DJ who was playing before me. I saw a beautiful lady. She was standing literally on top of the DJ booth, wearing these super high sexy heels, a tight skirt up to her butt. Her hands were in the air, high energetic music, and she had the people going wild with her. And I panicked. And instead of trusting on what I had prepared, I thought I had to match that energy. I abandoned myself and I tried to give the people what I thought that they wanted. And guess what? I failed big time. As I started to play, the dance floor emptied. It is a DJ's worst nightmare. And I felt devastated. It's one of those defining moments in a career and I had completely blown it. They never booked me again. Now, the next day, I shared this experience with another DJ. And he said something that changed everything for me. He said, if it was me walking into a situation like that, I would just stop the music, reset, and start over again. Yeah, sure, people will leave, but the right ones will come back, and they will stay. And if not, at least you would have a better time. And he was so right. So from that day onwards, I decided that was going to be my new truth. Now, fast forward. Mysteryland Festival. I was nervous as hell again. It's a festival with 60,000 people, mainstream music, superstar DJs who fly in with their private jets, and then there's me. My biggest fear of an empty dance floor happening all over again. But this time I was going to stick with myself. I was going to play what I felt was right. I started to play in an empty room, but very quickly the tent started to fill up. People were coming in from all directions and they were dancing, really dancing. I could really see that they were having a good time. And everyone stayed till the end. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because of this important truth. If you're trying to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one. So just be yourself, and your tribe will show up, and they will stay. And here's the thing, I don't think anyone in that room knew who I was. So they really came because of what they heard. And that feeling of being appreciated and accepted for who you really are, that feeling is truly amazing. It's real because you're real. If you're real, you create real connections, and that's what truly matters. And for Anna, this is especially the case. If she learns to face her fear of rejection, she will break free from her karmic chain, the one thing that is holding her back in life. Break it and see your life change. This is where true freedom begins. So, what is the one thing that you're not doing because of what other people think? Do that thing this week. Your future self is awaiting. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay present, stay true, and keep your wisdom flowing. I see you next time.